Hi, welcome to my channel, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Today I'm going to teach you how to knit these beautiful hats. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's for the set with the blouse sweater that I did before. It's really easy to do. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see the video in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel that you'll find the English version in there. Also, you can send me a message and I can send you the link. And at the end of each video, I leave a playlist with all my English tutorials. This is the set together and I absolutely love the design. The color is up to you, the color you want to use. I use yellow, but you can use any color. To make this beautiful hat, this is the material I'm going to use. I'm going to use this yarn, loops and thread, impeccable, 127.5 gram, medium 4, and the color is Rich Orchid, and it's 100% acrylic. And I'm going to use two set of needles, a 5.5 for the border and a 7mm for the top. This one I did with my 7mm, the border and top, but it's a little bit too loose in here. That's why I'm going to use this smaller size needle to create this border. And you're going to need tapestry needle and scissors. To start, we need to leave a tail long enough to casting on 72 stitches. So you're going to wrap around your needle 18 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. You pull it out of your needle. You fold it in half. You have enough for 36, and then you let go and fold it one more time, and you mark here and a little extra. I always like to leave a little extra, and you will have enough tail to cast on your 72 stitches. And here you're going to do a slip knot. You pass your needle through, and you're going to start casting on. You can cast on your stitches like this, or any way that you know to cast on your stitches. So I will meet you here when I have my 72 stitches. On your stitches, and you do the knot in here to secure your work. You're gonna start with the rib stitch to knit to purl. So we're gonna start with 1,
2 net and 2 purl. Net and 2 purl, and we are working with this 5.5 needles. So you're going to continue 2 net 2 purl, 2 net 2 purl until the end of this first row. We finished row 1 and we're gonna do the same repetition. See, row 1 we start with 2 net, and the second row again we start with 2 net, and that will be the same repetition until you have 16 row or from 9 to 10 centimeters long. So 2 net 2 purl, 2 net 2 purl. Finish row 2, row 3 is exactly the same, and it will be the same repetition over and over until you have 16 row or from 9 to 10 centimeters. So you start with 2 net and then 2 purl, 2 net 2 purl. I'm gonna work mine off camera, and then I will meet you here when I have my 16 row. But it's always the same: 2 net 2 purl, 2 net 2 purl, and you finish with 2 purl and you start with 2 net. I have my 16 row and measure almost 10 centimeters, and we have the 72 stitches, but we have to increase to have multiples of 11 plus 2 border stitches. So we have to increase 7 stitches, 77 for the stitch, and 1 for the border at the beginning and 1 for the border at the end of each row. So we have to increase 7, and in total we have to have 79 stitches. In this row we're going to change our needle size we're gonna do the first row of the stitch and do the 7 increase. So you're gonna do the net row. That's the first row of the design. So you're gonna knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And in number 10, we're going to do the increase. You're going to grab this strand from the row before and you're going to bring it up to your needle. And you're going to knit that one and knit number 10. Now we're going to start counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now number 10 we're going to do the increase. This time is in a purl stitch. You're going to grab the strand from under and you're going to come with your needle and go from the front end like that, and you're going to knit that one and knit number 10, and you have 2 increase, and like that you're going to continue doing your increase until you increase 7. Okay,
For a total of 79 stitches.
at the end you had to knit because those are the 72. So if you did exactly the increase like I showed you, you'll have 79 stitches on your 7mm needle. Now for the design, the second row is a purl row. So you're gonna purl all your stitches until the end. And the next stitch will be the repetition of row 3, that is the design of the stitch. So I will meet you at the end of this row. I finished that row. I'm gonna start with the stitches. So the first one is the border stitch. So you're gonna knit the first one, and then you're gonna repeat from these 2 stitches that we're gonna work now until we work the 11, and then we start all over again with a repetition from here. So you're gonna do 2 together and a purl stitch, and 2 together and a purl stitch. Now you have to do yarn over and knit 1 3 times. So we have the yarn in the front, and then you're gonna yarn over and knit 1. You see, that's the yarn over. That's 1 time. Yarn to the front, yarn over, knit 1 twice. That's the yarn over here, and yarn to the front, yarn over, and knit 1 3 times. Now you have to do yarn over and purl 2 together. So you have to wrap around the yarn on your needle, purl 2 together and 2 together, and those are the repetition that you're gonna do over and over until you have 1 left that will be a purl stitch. Those are the 11 stitches in here. So you're gonna start again from here. So you're gonna repeat from here to there, over and over. So you're gonna do 2 together and a purl stitch. It's 1 and 2 together and a purl stitch. Now yarn over and knit 1 3 times. So the yarn is in the front, yarn over, knit 1, that's 1 time, yarn to the front, yarn over, knit 1 twice, yarn to the front, yarn over, knit 1 3 times. Now you have to do yarn over and 2 together in a purl stitch, and 2 together and a purl stitch, and that's the repetition that you're going to do all the way to the end of this row. And remember, you'll have 1 left, and that will be a knit stitch. We finished row 3. That was the stitch row. Now we're gonna purl all the stitches in row 4. This is the yarn over. You go to that strand and you do a purl. That's the yarn over and you do a purl. The yarn over and do a purl. And like that you're going to continue all the way till the end of this 4th row. You finish row 4. Now we're going to start the repetition of row 1. That was a net row. So we're working again those 4 repetitions of those 4 rows. So in row 5, that is this one, you do repetition of row 1. And it's net every single stitch. So I will meet you here at the end of this row of net. Now we're working in row 6. It's the repetition of row 2 and it's a purl row. You always purl in the wrong side of this hat. Now in next row, that is the repetition of row 3. It will be row 7. We're going to do the design of the stitch. So I'll meet you here at the end of this row. It's a purl row. Now in row 7 we're going to do the repetition of row 3. That's the design of the stitch. So we're going to net the first one. That's the border stitch. Now we have to purl 2 together. And 2 together in a purl stitch. That's 2 and 2. Now we have to do yarn over and 1 net 3 times. So we have the yarn in the front, and to do the net with the yarn in the front, you're yarn over through the needle, and you have 1, 2, and 3 times. Yarn over and 2 together in a purl stitch, and 2 together in a purl stitch. And that's the repetition that you're going to do over and over until the end of this row, that you're going to end up with 1 border stitch. So from here, leaving the border stitch out, to here are the 11 stitches. So again, you start with 2 together in a purl stitch, and 2 together in a purl stitch. Now yarn over and a net 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. Yarn over and 2 together in a purl stitch, and 2 together in a purl stitch. And like that you're going to continue until the end of this row. Now we're gonna work on row 8, and it's a purl row, and that's the repetition of row 4. And here's the yarn over. Pass your needle through that strand and purl that one. So I will meet you here at the end of this purl row. I finished with the second motif, but you don't see it here as much because it's all gathered up on the needle. But you're gonna continue with those 4 repetitions. Let me show you in here, and this one. And you're gonna work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those motifs of the design of these. You'll count it by those, 7 of those. And then after that, we're gonna continue working with decrease to close the top of the hat, okay? So I will meet you here when I have those 7 motifs done in this one. So I have 5 more to go. And it's always the 4th repetition. Row 1 net, row 2 purl, row 3 is the one with the design, and row 4 purl. I finished my 7th repetition of the stitch, and I finished with a row of purl. So now we are in the right side. We have to net like we're doing row 1, but we're gonna do decrease, so we're gonna net 2 together, 2 together, 2 together until the end of this row, and a net stitch. Like that. You're gonna continue all the way until the end. And you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 repetition of the stitch. We finished the row of decrease. Now we're gonna do the repetition of decrease, but on a purl stitch. We're gonna purl 2 together, 2 together, 2 together until the end of this row. We have 20 stitches left here, and we're gonna do one more row of decrease two together, and we're gonna end up with 10, and those 10 we're gonna close the top of the hat. So you're gonna knit two together in this row. I have my 10 stitches left. Now I'm gonna cut the tail long enough for closing the top of the hat and sewing the side of my hat. A nice long tail. Once you have your needle ready, you will come here and you're gonna start passing your stitches one at a time. That way you make sure that you pass those 10 stitches through your needle, or you pass the needle through those stitches, because if you leave one without passing through, your work will fall apart. So this is a part is very important to keep an eye. So I'm gonna pass it through all of them, and then I will remove it from the needle, and I will pass one more time, because I always like to pass twice my needle through the stitches. That way they're nice and secure. Once you finish passing twice the strand through the top, we're going to start sewing our side of the hat, and you have to make sure that where you have the design, you see at the stitch, those four pearls, they match to each other. You see, like you're gonna see a full four pearls in a row like that, like these ones here. You're gonna close that design together. Once you finish sewing, you will tie these two tails together and loose them in the inside. And the seam, it will be like this. You sew it exactly like I sew mine, like I showed you in the video. It will be like this, unnoticeable seam. You don't see it pretty much. And here. So I will finish that and I will show you that. Here I weighed my leftover yarn and I have 78 grams. So if I choose, I can make another hat, exactly the same that I have enough in the leftover yarn. Here are the two hats side by side, and this one looks smaller, but they are the same size. The only difference is that this one it had a more tighter stitch in here because we work with a smaller size needle, and these ones are more open, you see. That's why this one look bigger. But if I put them one on top of each other and I open this part a little bit, they are exactly the same size. Now I will put it on and I will show you the end result. This is the end result and I absolutely love this design. The hat look amazing, super easy to do, and with this set even better. And I hope you guys like it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this beautiful design or any of my designs and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Crochet Tejido. Please share my videos with friends and family and in groups. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.